So Cardinal George Pell issued a statement just in the last hour or so after this finding by the High Court this morning. In this statement, he says he has consistently maintained his innocence while suffering from a serious injustice. He says this has been remedied today with the High Court's unanimous decision. He says he looks forward to reading the judgment and reasons for the decision in detail. He says, "I hold no ill will toward my accuser. I do not want my acquittal to add to the hurt and bitterness so many feel. There is certainly hurt and bitterness enough. However, my trial was not a referendum on the Catholic Church, nor a referendum on how church authorities in Australia dealt with the crime of pedophilia in the church. The point was whether I had committed these awful crimes, and I did not." Cardinal Pell goes on to say the only basis for long-term healing is truth, and the only basis for justice is truth, because justice means truth for all. He goes on to say a special thanks for all the prayers and thousands of letters of support. I want to thank, in particular, my family for their love and support and what they had to go through, my small team of advisors, those who spoke up for me and suffered as a result, and all my friends and supporters here and overseas. He also says, my deepest thanks and gratitude to my entire legal team for their unwavering resolve to see justice prevail, to throw light on manufactured obscurity and to reveal the truth. Finally, I'm aware of the current health crisis. I am praying for all those affected and our medical frontline personnel. Okay, let's go back now to former Chief Magistrate Nick Pappas and journalist Paul Kennedy, who's done a lot of work in this area over the years. Paul, to you first. So I just read out that statement from George Pell. That's a statement that has only just come through. What did you make of that? And in particular, his the part of the statement where he said, "My trial was not a referendum on the Catholic Church, nor a referendum on how church authorities in Australia dealt with the crime of pedophilia."
Yeah, well, I think that's a good line to include, and it's a good, strong message for everyone today. This certainly was not a referendum, as he puts it, on the way that the church handled this scandal, this crisis over many, many decades. And for me, the two have always been quite separate. The trials of one man was not a judgment on the Catholic Church and its terrible crimes against children and awful cover-ups. That was dealt with by all sorts of different inquiries, but namely the Royal Commission that we held, which was Australia's largest Royal Commission, that went through all the evidence, not just of the Catholic Church and its crimes, but all institutions that had those case studies brought about. So. And really, those findings have been handed down. I should note that some of the findings were redacted in parts which involved Cardinal Pell because he was going through his own legal process. So we wait to see at some point, I think it might be the government's role to release the unredacted parts of the Royal Commission's findings that we have not read so far, but that is perhaps for another day. But yes, I think that was a good strong line to put in there for people that are watching this and are trying to conflate the two matters. The Church's sentence, if you want to call it that, or the findings against the Church have been quite clear through that Royal Commission and other inquiries as well. Other than that, it was a statement that we could expect from a man who's been waiting to have this High Court decision handed down.